came in the Gold Cup with Estimate, which I would imagine, and obviously I'm only putting words in your mouth, but it must have been a very satisfying moment as a trainer to produce a Gold Cup winner in those colours at the Royal Meeting.
Yes, because I didn't know it, but she said afterwards that that was the race that she most wanted to win at Royal Ascot.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it was nice doing that.
Estimate was she was so tough. I mean, she had to be tough to win a Gold Cup, but
Yeah.
Ryan asked her a big question and she was so genuine. Again, straightforward, mind-wise, was she always that type of horse? Or?
Oh, yes, yes. No real brilliance, but tough. She toughed it out on a few occasions.
Given there was more than 30 years between your two Gold Cup winners, Shangamuzo was your first.
Yes.
Does that mean we can expect another one in sort of?
The best one. The best one was second. He was a Weinstock horse.
Oh.
He was second
To Yates?
to Yates.
Pat Kai.
yeah.
Pat Kai.
He was the best cup horse I ever
Was he?
had.
Was
Really?
it interesting?
There was a stage in that race. He damaged his tendon in that race.
Was that the year Yates won it for the fourth time?
I don't know which
I
time
think,
it
yeah,
was,
yeah.
but Yates won it. And I thought, oi, oi, oi,
Yeah.
let's have it, go on, have a go at him, you might get there. He was a very good staying horse, the best
Yeah, yeah.
I've had.
Yeah.
Being repetitive.
Steve and I have spoken about training cup horses, and you obviously you spoke to Henry about
did.
how he trained stayers.
Yeah, I asked him about because he had a series of great stayers, as you know, Ardross and well, several. And I asked him, did he do much? I mean, he said he never used to train them more than 7 furlongs. That was his. He didn't used to particularly find out. Were you the same?
Yeah, very seldom work them beyond 7 furlongs. You might give them the occasional mile or 9 furlong work, but it's fitness that matters. They've got the stamina.
Would it be a feel for it, like you just feel they're going to stay, or that and breeding?
Well, they've told you before. You know, they'll let you know as you've gone along.
Yeah. Yes, I'm old enough to remember Shangamuzo, and that started off under sort of 1.5 mile handicap, didn't it? Originally, it got better and better the further he went. I know it's a long time ago now.
Yeah. Good old Shangamuzo.
Yeah. I remember, absolutely. Other horses from this era?
Again,
This is very silly.
I mean, there's the Dream of Dreams, who's one of the most recent ones, but there are other older horses like Ulysses, Poet's Word and Crystal Ocean, who kind of sort of emulated Singspiel and Pilsudski being around at
They
the
were
same
solid.
time.
Over the bump.
Mustachery, Expert Eye, I might come back to him, Integral, Hillstar, Cannock Chase, Dank, Queen's Trust, Eqtidar, and the list goes on. But Expert Eye, I remember him winning as a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Everyone thought...
At Goodwood.
Yeah.
Everyone, including me. Yeah,
Wow,
we thought he was very special. And then he had a problem in the stalls in the Dewhurst. And that really set him back. We spent all spring trying to get him reorganised with the stalls.
Wow.
And the boys did a great job.
So he definitely came back with a sort of gradual renaissance towards the end of the season. And then Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
What was your...
He'd run some good races before the Breeders' Cup.
It was Frankie aboard in the Breeders' Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've been associated with every top jockey at various... I mean, Leicester rode a lot for you. Obviously, Walter, Kieran, Pat Edery, Willie at some, Gary Stephen. One of the things I was really struck by is that there was a quote I read for you about Greville Starkey, who rode your first Classic winner in 1978 and then worked for you for a number of years after he retired. And you said of all the jockeys, he was the best judge of any horse who rode them. Would that be right? Your memory?
Without a doubt.
Really?
He was a brilliant judge. He was a brilliant horseman. He annoyingly would not practice enough with his left hand, because I don't see why he shouldn't have been very effective with his left hand, but he didn't just like doing it. He had a blank there. But he was the most he was the most beautiful work rider as well, and judge. Very talented man. I was so lucky to have him early in my career, but you know, Guy had him organised, and
Yeah.
he then got busier and busier with Guy as Guy got more successful and in larger stable. But I got Grev then when he retired.
Yeah.
And he did great jobs for us, went overseas with Japan Cup horses and Breeders' Cup horses, and he was just a joy to have. Such a knowledgeable man and a very underrated rider. You know, it was sad because that 86 Derby set him back enormously.
Unfairly in some ways as well. Don't you
Yes.
think? I mean, not every horse goes down the hill at Epsom.
Exactly. And you see him even coming down the hill and he's squeezing him, you know.
To get a position, yeah.
But he was a very good horse. He took off when he straightened.
Yeah, he was a very good judge. But he was a good judge of how far a horse would stay and things like that, was he?
Brilliant.
As good as you've had.
The best.
Yeah, that's nice. That is nice.
In 81, obviously, Walter became stable jockey for you. Would it be right to say that he was the best on the big day in terms of temperament?
Those top jocks are all pretty good. But he was very calm. He had the most beautiful hands. Nobody got a horse to settle better than he did, maybe as well. So, but it just came a little too early, and that was not my plan, because I'd got Leicester in 1980 because he'd fallen out with everybody. Henry, Jeremy Tree, go down the line. He didn't. So he started coming around to me to have a drink. He didn't drink very much. And I wanted, what do you want? I didn't realise he'd fallen out with everybody. But then I did. So it started, and then he drove me mad. He got beat on a horse here. It was hanging, and he dropped his hands, and it was one of the Argos, beautifully bred filly. The Argo had come over to see her win.
Oh.
And Leicester came in and the crowd were booing, and he went straight into the weighing room, didn't even speak to the Argo. So I rang him and I started giving him a bollocking, and he slammed the phone down. Then the next morning he drove around, and we'd just had some chippings, a cheap job done on the drive at Beechhurst, right? These loose chippings.
Yeah.
So he comes in, boom, explains himself, says, look, I'm here, you told me, I said, if you mess around, Lester, and mess about, it'll be the last time you ride work, right? I won't tolerate that. So anyway, so you told me, so he was happy with all that. So then I walk out, and he puts the window down, this little sports Jag he had, and he said, next time you're feeling like that, you lock yourself in the toilet for half an hour. And with that, he came off the grid, and the chickens are hitting me in the face and the arms.
That was the end of it.
So for 81, these nice horses were coming up, hard, sugar, and I think all is well, and all of a sudden there's commotion. Joe Mercer's leaving Warren Place, this body. Well, I got Swinburne to come as on a small retainer to be second call to what Leicester couldn't ride. So I felt I was beautifully organised. And then Peter Warwin wanted Swinburne, so they were happy with that. They wanted, because he was going to ride all of them. So I had to have another strategy. So he came in, and he got on them all a little bit too early, 19.
But you enjoyed some great days with him. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Would the Breeders' Cup that Pilsudski won, because obviously Walter had that fall in Hong Kong before it, would that be one of the most sort of memorable or important occasions in terms of successes?
Well, I thought it was a very big day because it was driving me mad, that Breeders' Cup. So it was big.